So, what are we talking about here? Obviously, the emotions are running high. Because there's a lot to do still. So much to think about. So I've been doing really well on my paresthesias. For some reason, my body is overjoyed, probably at seeing my family. And so, I am, see if I can bring this down. I am, let's see, happy overall, but this is a sad situation. The reason being for keeping, just trying to stay upbeat throughout this, because there's children, you know. My nephew Corbin is 18. He just turned 18. But there's a baby in the house, you know, and so you don't want to, be shedding stress, especially around a baby. It's supposed to be joyful, you know. So already this baby is going to be very intuitive. She's going to know, you know, what's up from down before anybody does, because she's had to endure, you know, the process of, you know, her life and Uncle Xavier's death. So that's something that we have to process. I don't even believe that we've even begun to do that yet. And so my sister's worried because, you know, she won't let go of the baby. It's tough being a woman. Your body is ever changing. It just keeps changing. Men are lucky. Men are made to ejaculate and that's it. So that's what they do. But women change. Their bodies change. Their perceptions change. They have the capability of a chameleon. They're very resilient. And our body is ever changing because we're constantly shedding and shedding and shedding. 300 trillion cells in your body. Your body is constantly shedding skin everywhere, every day, every second of the day. So the body is like a plant. You gotta water it. You know? If you so much as slip from watering your body, it could have detrimental effects on your body that are going to be long lasting, and you're constantly going to be in panic mode. And you know, when you're in panic mode, your body is already starting to, when it starts getting stressed, I guess, you know, you have to sweat. And when you sweat, all that stuff is falling off of your body and onto the floor. So now you're trailing it. That's called, it's like a transverse effect. Like it, you know, like the next person that walks over it can drag it on with them. And, you know, unless everybody's walking in a tray of antiseptic water before they go into their house. I mean, can you imagine the mess that would make? It's just crazy. You have to be aware, awake, aware, and alert. All three, you know? And it takes a lot of work, you know? So if you fuck up your body in childhood, Your rewiring is off in adulthood. And for me, that looks like multiple sclerosis. So yeah, oh sorry, I don't mean to make you look at my nose. So yeah, my body's haywire. There's a lesion in the back of my neck. In the brainstem. On the brainstem. Depending on where the lesion is, I haven't gone into that particular depth yet, but I will. I think that would be my next project, and I'll let you know how that works out. Yeah, it's just crazy. That's called a buffer. So when you're talking to people, you can't just up and like stop talking, you know, right? Most people want you to initiate the conversation, or otherwise, you know, like take a hike. But yeah, when you're speaking with people, you have to have buffer words, and that's called a buffer. At least in my terms, it is. It's just a distraction, just a way to distract you, so that you don't get that like this content isn't pre-written and pre-planned, and you know, it's actually, it's pretty raw, kind of like the Meghan Markle situation. I don't know how I like drank the Kool-Aid. I wasn't even aware of it, but I guess I drank the Kool-Aid of all the hate, all the people that hate her. I mean, I have my own opinion, but I don't know her. Like, you know, she seems to be a pretty stand-up gal. Although she's pretty shady, though. And you know what they say about shady people? You can't trust them. And she used to take pictures of the palace way before, like, anybody even caught her. So she's got, like, she's got some explaining to do to the MI6. That's why she ran. She feels she's got diplomatic immunity, but, you know, to the Brits, that's treason. It's grave. As in 6 feet under. So, I don't know what made me think of her. But it's been a really, really rewarding trip. For example, I haven't had a single episode of Perostasis where like I can't swallow my food due to stress, and then it gets stuck in the middle, and then I feel it about right here. I look like I'm talking about, but I'm not. Here, right about here, it starts to kind of like get really tight, and then you can't breathe. I used to think that was the MS hug, but in my case, I have what is called a lesion on the brainstem of my neck, on the back of my neck. So I have to repeat this every single time I say that. The Multiple Sclerosis Society's last referral to you is the Paralyzed Veterans of America. So, please be supportive of those that you love. You never know what they might be dealing with in their life. That is an autoimmune disease. There's no cure. They have probably, I'm going to say, speculating about 15 to 16 drugs for MS, to treat MS. There's 4 different types of MS, relapsing remitting being the very mildest form. That's what I have. And my doctor's words, in her words, were always, you're not that bad. So per her words, I'm not that bad. But there is a lesion in the back of my neck, and it's not going anywhere. So I have to, you know, I have to live. I just have to continue living. What can I do, you know? That's like saying, oh, I don't know. I mean, unless I was completely laid out, whereas I couldn't walk or talk, I wouldn't want to live anyway, you know? So, maybe Meghan Markle was maybe she was practicing for like a new role or something, right? And does anybody know why everyone's talking about she wants to be known as Harry's wife now? And because I don't know why she's having to. Well, I guess she wouldn't want to be associated. I don't know. I have no idea. So my teeth didn't come in, so I still have holes up there, and it's pretty bad. But I'm amongst family, so I feel like I'm okay and no one's judging me. But however, I feel this like urgent need to let everyone know that my teeth didn't come in. Why is that? That's weird, right? Like the vanity. That's kind of interesting. I should carry lip gloss because my mouth looks very dry. My lips on the outside. It's not very becoming, and it's definitely not very cute. So yeah, I can't wait for that. I'm actually grateful that they didn't come in, because I would have been here with a big old fat face. Yeah, I'm just in the middle. I'm in the process of getting new teeth in the back. And they brought my my fitting in, but they didn't complete one of the processes. So I'm gonna have to write a letter to the Delta insurance people and let them know that, hey, you guys are slipping. This should have been done before the other had been completed, and now I'm gonna have to come back, and no, I don't want to take it, and no, I don't want you to shave half of it off, because that's what they said. They said, well, it's not ready, so maybe we could shave the back off, and then you could use it. And I'm like, no, do not ruin it. If it's ready to go, it's ready to go. You just got to finish your job. So they haven't done that. That's what is called practicing medicine, so you have to have a license for it. And yeah, that's kind of odd that they dropped the ball on it. Like, it's been a month already and nothing's happened. Oh shit. But then I haven't spent the money either, so that means there's X amount of money that they haven't got. And you got to fix your teeth, and it's gonna run you 30 grand. So just get used to it. Think of all those girls that go out there and get tits, right? They want to look good. You want to look good too. But it is expensive, Although the prosthetic isn't. The prosthetic is really not that fucking much. It's like I paid $6.95 for it. And it's just temporary. And then I'm gonna go and get the other part. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of slack in my face right now because of it. And so I'm hoping, I can't wait to see how much it's gonna change. Anna Nicole Smith said her teeth were the most painful thing to have done. So I've got to be conscientious of the medication that I'm going to be on for a little while. And so that might, I don't know how it's going to affect me. Everything affects you. So, if you drink a cup of coffee, it's going to affect you. I have dry mouth. Yeah, I got into a little battle with my sister earlier because she was backing my mom up one too many times. My mom was using me as a punching bag for some reason. I feel like she was projecting her anger at me because I cuss a lot. I say fuck almost every day and every morning. It's a good morning fuck to you. And she doesn't like it, so fuck her. Yeah, so then my sister was in the room and I had to go at it with her, and she was treating me like a kid. Meaning, if I get louder, then you'll fucking stop talking. And I was like, that's fucking rude. And it's not gonna happen. I said, I'll leave before I fucking, let you fuck with me like that. And she's like, And we've gone through this before, so she knows I'm serious. And so I had to go through that with her again. I'm like, look, I have a psychiatrist. My psychiatrist has strict rules that I have to follow. If there's an altercation, I need to leave the room. Because I've never, entertained that. And so I've always worked at a nightclub. I always had a bodyguard. I could say whatever I want. And that guy was behind me at all times. So, I don't have a filter. And I was a nanny for, a Jewish family. And if you know anything about Jews, yeah, there's nothing that their kids are restricted from doing. And that's called the freedom of life. And it's very well respected. And she was like a mini-me. Her and I just went everywhere. And she cursed just as much as her dad. So, and it was refreshing to me, because I was like, look, I say what the fuck every other fucking time, every other fucking sentence. So, the idea that you have to have such a fucking power struggle with your children that you should forbade them the use of certain languages is ridiculously idiotic to me. I mean, what the fuck, Because now they set this standard of where there's this invisible wall you can't cross. So now you're automatically like, okay, these people are weird and we must not engage. Yeah, don't give them the satisfaction. You know what I mean? Let them squirm. Let them think, what are you gonna do? Let them. What do you care? You're going home every night. And if you don't go home every night, you should. But if you don't go home every night because you go and you stay with someone that you love, that's okay too. Yeah. There's a lot of shit going through my mind right now, so I just gotta cover it. People aren't listening. They don't want to hear you. They want to grieve. And just you being there is enough. You don't have to talk. And I get it. But there's I have a lot there in my brain, and it's wanting to get out. And so I have to be very, very strategic in how I deliver my message. Because at the end of the day, it's a message. My message is of love and peace, right? Yeah. Namaste. So I've encountered every religion there ever was on earth. I'm sure there's, countless others that I don't cover. But in my experience, I feel like I can go to Israel now and state that I am who I am, and that's identity. That's identifying you. That is who you are. This is how they will know that this is you, and that you aren't this person over here that tried to do that, because right now I feel like my identity is being stolen, and somebody out there is really working hard at it. I looked at my PayPal today and I got a message that said that I owe them $99. I'm not going to pay them, because if they breached, they breached, right? So, there's a lot, right now, there's a lot of desperation. And it's just in the air, It used to be where, the desperation was, glued to one person, right? And so that person was the one that, stunk, because stress sweat smells worse than regular sweat. So, there used to be ways that we could see what was happening, but there isn't anymore. I mean, it used to be I was young and I could tell which people were ratchet and down and out. It's not like that anymore. It's like we're past judgment already, right? We're like in purgatory. Like the time of the essence has passed. So we're not there anymore. See what I'm saying? People are like, oh, this pandemic is the beginning. Okay? So if you know about seasons, every season is 7 years. We just reached a season and it was 7 years. Okay? Because it goes in sevens. And all you're doing is basing everything that you've seen and heard, you're basing it on what you've seen in the world, right? That's your experience. So now you're going into philosophy. That's what they call that. Experience is philosophy, Far Eastern philosophy. And in order to study Far Eastern philosophy, they want you to join a college and sign the loan papers and get in there and work it out. So that's got to be something that's conditioned into your head. You have to mold them from a child. You just got to mold them. Just got to like properly make sure that you adjust and tweak. Yeah. You have to be there. You have to come out and you have to participate. And so there's a sense of guilt that overwhelms you. It's so powerful, yet powerless. Because there's nothing now. There's nothing left. I mean, we have to go on, right? The living. When you lose someone, you have to go on. And there's distractions. Plenty of them. I mean, you can't walk but a few feet to see the distractions. But they're there, they're everywhere. So you just gotta it's like being in a game and like every turn you take looks like the apartment building in front of me. Or, the trees behind me, and the houses. Yeah, you just gotta be, man. There's a song. It's called Just Be. It's like a techno song. But it's really hard. It's really hard. It's hard on the body. Obviously it's a traumatic event. So now you're suffering this traumatic event with others, right? So you're not alone. You're feeling it, and people are coming together, and you guys are all on the same groove, So you're feeling it, and that's living, you're living through it. It's called experience. And Far Eastern philosophy is like, it's like anything that's in the book, and that's the oldest book in the world, right? So the book that everybody knows about, the blueprint for humankind, the book, right? I mean, it's just because yeah. There's a lot that comes to mind, and you don't know where to go next, but everything has to relay. It's like an overlap. And you just keep talking, but you keep saying something that's absolutely relatable, but it's like being, it's happening. That's all it is. Everywhere you go, you make an impression on someone. I mean, I maybe seem weird to you guys, but think of what my family feels like. They're like, this fucking bitch is weird. Yeah, I'm proud to be 50 years old. I made it. I'm very proud. But I'm also scared. And that's normal, you know? Fucking normal wear and tear on the body. That's all it is. So how can I make this funny? How can I draw from my experiences and not be so crude about the experiences and make them funny? You know, like add a little bit of humor in there so that I'm not so depressing. You know? But if people can relate, they can tell that you're angry. They're looking right at you. They could see that your wheels are turning. And they are. I mean, my heart's getting excited right now. My nose is starting to fucking tingle. And then I think sometimes, am I a hard-ass bitch? No, I've just seen a lot of death. Oh my God, I've seen too much. So I came out here to smoke. There's a couple gardeners, a man walking his dog, a lady leaving hurriedly. A guy in a truck. And there's this piece apparatus next to me that looks like some type of, it says fuel on it. See it? Wait. Yeah, there it is. What is that? I wonder. If you know, let me know in the comments. It looks like some type of I don't know what it is. Anyway, wow. This is really relieving. I'm very relieved right now, although I'm still a little bit anxious. I'm working on my anger, developing my my poker face, but it's not easy. There's a guy that just came out of the hotel and he creeped me out. Fucking weirdo. Yeah, I never leave my house, so I have that third eye going everywhere. That would have looked really cute though. I saw a there's another guy coming out of the hotel in a baseball cap and fat. No offense to anybody, I just can't gain weight. Is this motherfucker like red? I bought this ring yesterday at TJ Maxx. Isn't it cute? Yeah. Yeah, there's just so much, you know. It's like avoidance, that's a whole nother thing, you know. Avoiding something because you'd rather not do it is a choice that you're making. And what was the other choice? That's the more important question, right? Yeah. But I'm definitely calmer now. So I lost my glasses this morning, and you know, like I said, I have multiple sclerosis, so I jump the gun all the time. That's just an absolute like defense mechanism. My body automatically like just jumps the gun, right? Because there's like a speed bump in the way, a speed bump. And so the message has to get over the speed bump. And so it's coming along the line, right? And he runs into the dendrite. They got to go over. No, the dendrites are pushing the message through, right? The dendrite looks like a little ball with, not like the corona, but little ball with a bunch of spikes. So the dendrite pushes the message through. As the dendrite's pushing the message through, there's a bump in the road, right? So now the dendrite's gotta like go around it. And by the time it gets to the other side, it could be 2 seconds or whatever, right? Well, I don't think it's like that severe, and I wouldn't go as far as saying that because obviously I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nurse, neurologist, but I studied my case way before they even had a chance to see me. So I know what I was going through and how it was like, you know, I was aware of how it was unfolding, the disease, you know? Like, it started to make sense to me. The first time I fell was when I was pregnant with Devin, and I was 16 years old, and they said to me, and I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, you know, I fell when I was 16 years old. But I remember at the time that it seemed to me like the tree limb popped up. And then it was like actually much deeper than where I thought it was. So I lifted my foot up to go over it, right? They call that drop foot. I lifted my foot up to go over it, right? And then when it dropped back down, it was too early, right? So now my heel caught the tree limb that I was trying to avoid. So in my brain, I caught that, right? I was 16. And I was just, you know, like dumbfounded that I had fallen, right? Because I had such great, I mean, I thought I had pretty good grades. And I was like 8 months pregnant at the time. And yeah, that's what happened. So later on, I learned that it affects your vision, right? Which makes sense. I can't, for example, I can't go anywhere without my glasses or contacts. So I wear contacts because they're disposable, and I wear contacts because I don't want to always take my glasses everywhere, right? I want to, because I could lose them, you know, that's happened to me before. And so this morning I woke up, my glasses felt, I thought I lost my glasses, and I hadn't, but I started to panic because remember, I automatically jumped the gun. So that's because my body's overcompensating for the actual lesion, which is an injury to the brain, right? It's an injury to the brain. So, and you can't go around telling people I have multiple sclerosis because they don't know what the fuck you mean. They don't know what the fuck you're saying or what they're even supposed to even fucking act like. You know what I mean? They don't know. So they treat you the same as they've always treated you, except now things are different because that person is gone. You know what I mean? That person ceased to exist the day that I got my diagnosis. That was the first day of the rest of my life, right? Of the beginning of the rest of my life. And that was the last day of my old life, right? Because it all came to a head. All the studying, all the dramatic, you know, hours long standing in front of the computer and just not even leaving it except to like grab something to eat and then, you know, continue on the process for like 8 hours continuously. Because when you got on that computer, you got on that computer on like a weekend or maybe a holiday weekend where you could be on it like the entire time and no one would miss you, right? So that's what happened. I just read and read and read and read and read and continued to read and then memorized it, read it again and then read it again and then memorized it and then read it again. So now I knew what was going on with me. It was exhilarating finding out that I had multiple sclerosis and it wasn't Crohn's disease, because that affects your colon. But people have, you know, it's important to listen to your body, listen for the signs, you know, stay aware, stay awake, alert. Not awake as in woke, but awake as in be constantly, vigilantly aware of your surroundings. That's it, you know? Especially because we're, you know, we're vulnerable to society. Society doesn't want to deal with crazy people like us. They want to throw us to the sidelines, and, you know, the wayward signs, and leave you be. And because not everybody has the capacity to overcome and to learn that, you know, maybe, you know, just maybe, like freaking, you know, thought process just came to mind out of the bright blue sky, that just maybe you're not well. Because you've taken therapy, you've taken, you know, more than one facility in, at least 3 across the valley. You know, how many people can say that? You have gained a relationship with the professional on the down low, which means that you and her have both agreed to meet outside of there, and for like on a sliding scale, right? Payment of maybe $20 or whatever. This is the 90s, early 2000s. So I mean, it's, you know, it's a process. So when you see people out there on the street, think, wow, you know, I wonder what they're going through. I mean, that, I always look at them and think to myself, oh God, I'm glad I'm not where she is. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you really do have to be grateful for what you have, you know? And it helps to remind yourself of it often, you know? There's a lot of, my son likes humor, you know. I'm trying to be a comedian. I know that I'm not funny, so I have to work at being funny, right? I mean, you have to work at things, right? My legs are too skinny. I feel like I look like a twig, kind of, you know, right? But I used to be a runner, and the wonderful thing about muscle is it has memory. So, you know, as soon as you start over again, it starts to build really quickly. But where am I? Oh, it's 10:37. Yeah, I gotta go upstairs. But anyways, I'm gonna have to put an end to this conversation. You know, I was trying to get through. I've been trying to get through quite a few traumatic events in my life. It's really hard for me not to speak of them, and, you know, like I said, people in my immediate family and my extended family, they're not ready to speak so bluntly about trauma. And so I have to constantly remind them, hey, listen, I'm a traumatic event survivor. Like, I don't need you judging me. I have a lot of shit to work on, and you don't have to be around me for it, but know that I am working on all my fucking faults, and I'm not having a difficult time with it. I'm good, you know? Just, you know, if you have to feel sorry for me, or if you have to whatever, you know, like, that's your lot. You know, I'm here just to tell you that, hey, you know what? Regardless, life's gonna go on. There's a little kid involved here. There's just a lot going on in my life. But I hope you enjoyed my talk with you. If you liked my video, please subscribe. This is a video, not a daily vlog yet, because I haven't reached, you know, that much capacity to, like, but, you know, as I'm building this channel and my brand of, you know, I don't know what you want to call it, you know, it's not really therapeutics, because I'm not a licensed practitioner in anything. I have a medical assistant diploma, and I was licensed by it's a lapsed license by the state of California, and I don't claim to be a nurse. And all the information I've given you today is my own personal thoughts and feelings. Okay? But if you like my video, subscribe to my video. Like my video, comment in the section because it helps my videos pop up for you. And you could just say thanks or, hi or whatever. And follow me along on my journey. It is what it is, man. Autoimmune diseases, they are what they are. All right, guys, have a wonderful, I think it's Monday. Bye.